Hey everybody, it's your host Jamie, and if you live in Washington State, you know about the city of Bellingham. It's a coastal city with gorgeous views of Mount Baker, and it is swarming with breweries and museums and hiking spots. So after another busy, long work week, I Googled places to stay in Bellingham, and I found this beautiful hotel in Ferndale, 10 miles northwest of Bellingham. I've never heard of a town called Ferndale, which is exactly why I wanted to go to a town called Ferndale, and now you can go to a town called Ferndale too, with me. Let's go. Welcome to Weekends in Washington, the travel show where I visit the most enchanting towns in the Evergreen State, and with only the weekends to do so. Follow along as I bring you what's new, who's who, and where to stop along the way. The weekend starts now. After getting off work Friday night, I headed to the Silver Reef Casino Resort. That's right, Ferndale, which is a town of like 15,000 people, has this Las Vegas-esque monument that you can see right off the highway. It was awesome. As soon as I got there, I'm like, I'm getting dialed up and I'm going out for a night on the town. No, I'm just kidding. I crashed.
Silver Reef's got 206 hotel rooms, so people think of us kind of being in Ferndale, this little casino resort, but we're actually a very large-scale resort. We have a spa. Of course, we've got tables and slots and those sorts of things like all casinos have. But really, we go from a high-end steakhouse to a buffet to a casual dining restaurant and an Asian restaurant, so there really is something for everyone.
Now that I knew a little bit more about where I was staying, I decided to learn a little bit more about where I was staying, Ferndale, by making my next stop the Ferndale Visitor Information Center.
The town was originally called Jam because there was a big giant log jam in the river. We're right on the Nooksack River. And then in the 1800s, a teacher noticed all of the beautiful ferns growing around because it's so lush and green here and decided we should change the name to Ferndale, which I think was a good decision.
You didn't like Jam Town? So I've got one weekend, 1.5, 2 days max to be able to experience Ferndale. What would you recommend?
Well, if you were here in the summertime, I would definitely say Pioneer Park is our gem that we have here in Ferndale, but it's only open from May through September, so you're not gonna be able to see that on this trip.
After a few minutes of seeing these original cabins from the 1800s, I already knew I wanted to return back to this town where I had only just arrived.
We do have some awesome other things that you can do. Himalayan salt caves at Flowmotion. We have a fantastic creamery. We've got some great bars, some great restaurants, and Hovander Homestead Park is on the other side of the river, which is a county park. And tonight I'm going on a Bigfoot tour, so if you want to come with me on that.
Heck yeah, I want to go on a Bigfoot tour. Add that to my itinerary. Check. Next, I heeded Annette's advice by heading to a spot that would entice any busy weekend traveler, a healing spa. Owner Alyssa Springs gave me the tour.
We have been here for almost 6 years now, and we started as a dance and fitness studio, became a yoga studio. We are a yoga sanctuary, a salt cave, and a healing spa. The salt cave is 5 tons of pink Himalayan salt, and we imported that ourselves from the Himalayan mountains in Pakistan.
A man-made Himalayan salt cave in Ferndale? This place was like blowing my mind.
You know, it's just overwhelming. A lot of people will cry when they step into rooms or when they're in yoga. The stress just comes out of them.
I'm not gonna cry just going on the tour, right?
I don't think so, but somebody this morning, I gave her a tour and she was tearing up. So we'll see.
I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. While I could have spent the entire weekend at Flowmotion taking yoga classes or reading amongst amethyst crystals, instead I spent just the afternoon and still felt completely rejuvenated and hungry. I nabbed a quick pizza and brew. Well, not entirely quick because I'm pretty sure I waxed poetic about Flowmotion the entire time.
Flowmotion, and it's only 0.4 miles away.
But then, inspired by some delicious cheesy goodness now settling in my stomach, I decided to milk the dairy scene by heading on over to Twin Sisters Creamery, where I met up with owner Lindsay Slevin.
We named Twin Sisters after our daughters, Maddie and Lexi, who were about 4.5 years old when we started the project and are featured in our logo. I love all cheese, and I love experiencing cheese with people. We sample everything with the customers. We love to explain how the cheeses are made. We do classes and tastings and trays.
I can't help but be very curious behind these cameras back there. I am seeing, it looks like a big workshop.
I mean, we can suit up and walk around, or I can just walk you through here quickly.
Suiting up? Behind the scenes, Lindsay explained everything about the blue cheese making process, from heating up locally sourced raw milk in its 600-gallon milk bath, to transforming the marshmallow-sized cheese curds into cheese wheels before letting the cheese age for 2 months. Fun fact about this place, Lindsay told me they make up to 1,300 pounds of blue cheese a week.
Holy cow.
Oh, and also a fun fact, but about me, is that I don't really like blue cheese.
What advice would you give to someone who doesn't happen to like blue cheese?
Oh, you're gonna have to try our cheese. I am so serious. I'm gonna get you a couple samples and just see what you think. I mean, honestly, let's see if we can make you consider blue cheese.
No, I'm so nervous. It still tastes like blue cheese. It's delicious.
After Twin Sisters Creamery helped me take another gamble on blue cheese, I thought I'd keep up my winning streak by actually gambling back at Silver Reef Hotel and Casino before dinner.
It's like an adult Disneyland. Yep.
Now, Silver Reef's motto is winning is closer than you think, and I can affirm because just a few feet away from the casino was its multi-award-winning dinner spot, the Steakhouse, where I sipped on its own house red wine, drooled over a seafood tower, delighted in a made-from-scratch Caesar salad, and of course, this place was literally on fire, people. It was so good. Here's a fun Ferndale fact about the Steakhouse. You can doggy bag up your drink. I took a peach fizz martini to go while I tried my luck one more time at the casino.
Hey, that's my name. Cash voucher, 60 cents. They say you can't be winners. Get out of here.
It was then time to meet back up with Annette from Visit Bellingham to seek out Sasquatch through the company The Bigfoot Adventures.
The adventure begins.
For those of you who weren't born in the Pacific Northwest, like me, I'm from Chicago, the legend of Bigfoot goes back hundreds of years. People have claimed to see these huge, hairy, upright walking, ape-like creatures that dwell in the wilderness.
There's more seen in Washington State by far than any other state in the country. It's a fun thing to ask people if you stop at a gas station, you ever seen a Bigfoot? And you think that they're gonna laugh at you or just like, ha ha ha. Most of the time they're, nope, but my aunt did. Nope, but my grandpa did. Yep, me and my sister saw one.
This was given to us at the expedition last year. It's a percussion instrument.
What is referred to as a wood knock. It's a communication with Bigfoot that is heard over and over and over and over again.
We ended our night with a campfire, s'mores, and hot toddies at the top of the wilderness as Ray and Joey offered their last slew of sighting stories and Bigfoot hunting hints. After sleeping in, I read up on the informative brochures provided by the Visitor Center and decided to head over to Hovander Homestead Park, a near 350-acre farmstead that time warps you back to the beginning of the 20th century. Feeling fully rested and relaxed, I was ready to feel fully full. So I headed over to Leader Block and met up with Amberly Brownson, Director of Operations and Wine Sommelier.
So the building has been many different things over its 110 years of existence, including a butcher shop, a grocery store, office space. It was actually famed to be where they would do some prohibition activities underground. We are not alone here. Lady Leader Block is what we call her. She inhabits the space and moves things around and messes with things. There'll be wine glasses that'll just fall off.
Are you saying this place is haunted?
Correct. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
Like Casper, but it's like Lady Leader, the friendly ghost.
Correct. Yeah. We are going to be the featured restaurant for 2020 for the Bellingham Northwest Wine Festival.
Well, that's an excuse to already come back to Ferndale for sure. After a delicious meal, plus a quick wine tasting, I strolled down downtown Ferndale to take in one last breath of this charming town. Then it was back in the car and back to the Methow Valley. During my drive back home, I kept thinking about how I was going to describe this tiny town that's 10 miles northwest of Bellingham, a place that you could find entertainment, recreation, and relaxation. I even like to think of it as Fun Fact Ferndale because everywhere I went, I kept learning something new. I mean, yes, about Ferndale, of course, but also about cheese making and infrared therapy and even Sasquatch hunting, for crying out loud. I'm Jamie, and this might be the best weekend you've ever had.